This is Joel Marshall reporting for Lunch Therapy. I'm in Chicago, and apparently a giant spaceship has landed. People are gathering around, taking video. I don't know if this is all over the news or if I'm breaking this news, but it's pretty incredible. Thanks everybody for coming out. I'm Joel Marshall. Yeah. Does anybody know what this is called? Do you know? A lot of people here from other countries. Do you know what this is called? No? We don't know either. It's a Frank Gehry, right? Frank Gehry. Yeah? Those people are French, I believe. I can tell my French accents from a mile away because it just has a small mouth quality about it. Oui, 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 oui. One thing that I have learned about people in Chicago, they are Olympic eaters. Their idea of pizza is like a casserole. I'm just used to just the doughy kind of flat pizza, no nutritional value whatsoever. Pizza is like the pancake of dinner foods. There's no one in the world, however, who doesn't like pizza. Well, that's a pie, that's a pizza pie. Did you ever have Chicago pizza? Chicago pizza? Do you like it? Where are you from? Chicago, you're from here? So what is your name?
Imari.
Imari?
Yeah.
Imari. So what do you like about Chicago pizza?
I like this flatbread kind of pizza called Italian Fiesta. It's like the South Side kind of pizza.
People in Chicago like to eat, don't they?
Yes.
Why do you think that is?
Probably because Chicago is just known for its food.
Ever since I got here, it's just like, what are we going to eat? Every 5 minutes.
Right.
Hey, thanks so much for being on the show. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, have a good one. So yeah, so people in Chicago are super friendly. Hey guys, is this a spaceship? What is this? Pritzker, thank you very much. I'm here with Joel Marshall here for Lunch Therapy at the Pritzker Pavilion. Now back to you, Joel. All right, welcome to Lunch Therapy. This is Interview Friday. Today we've got Stephen J. Springer on the show. Very excited. He's a big comedian, a host, a promoter, a producer of comedy in Chicago, Illinois. So really happy to have him here. Lunch Therapy is a show that happens on Tuesdays and Fridays at noon. Tuesdays we give away money. We have a contest where the winner gets to take home a little cold hard cash. And then on Fridays we don't bribe people. We bribe people with great guests. A lot of times they're comedians, a lot of times they're directors and actors and people from all over. We like to talk about comedy. We like to talk about life and how to keep your mind right and how to keep your creativity flowing, regardless of who you are, whether you're a comedian or a plumber or a person who sells hot dogs at Wrigley Field. Just whatever it is, we want to keep your mind right and keep you happy. So that's what we're doing here, getting you off the news cycle. This happens live. We have live guests. Show is always live, but then you can watch them later on too. So let's get into this thing called Lunch Therapy. I'm gonna get myself a modem. 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 All right. So I want to say thank you to all the Patreons out there. Thank you. They're going down along the bottom here. All of our Patreons. So great to have you supporting the show, because shows like this are supported by people and not robots. Let's look around and see what's going on in the blogosphere. I don't know why I said blogosphere. I don't know what the blogosphere is. Right now I have on the screen Chad Damiani. I don't know if you saw him on the show, but he's an amazing performer, clown, stand-up comedian. He is going to be in Chicago since we're doing the whole Chicago show today here with a Chicago guest. Chad is going to be there doing a solo show, which I have seen, called Reckless. It's about well, at least when I saw it, it was about a comedian who was canceled and then was coming back to make good. And he's also doing stand-up and clown earlier in the evening at the Annoyance Theater in Chicago, which is a hilarious place where they do a lot of improv and a lot of really fun stuff. So check that out. You can go to the Chad Damiani on his website and check out all the details about that. Amazing performer if you haven't seen him. And if you have seen him, still an amazing performer. Also, this friend of ours, Patrick Ori, he's having a nightcap comedy. It's a brand new show, free show. It's happening here in Los Angeles on Cahuenga Boulevard, 1544 North Cahuenga. Go and support that. You know, you can support yourself too, because it's free. $5 tap beers. It's a brand new show. Check it out. Also, our favorite Jenny Sykes is doing all of these dates. She's going to be at all the places. Laugh Factory, Hotel Cafe, Flappers, Ice House, Improv. She's doing all the major places. So check her out this month. And next, Hoy, Equal Means Equal, is here. Hoy, Jose Salas. Is it a pointy nightcap? I think so. Let's see. Is it a pointy nightcap? Definitely pointy. Definitely. Let's breathe. On this show, we take in oxygen. All right. So here we are in the oxygen room here with Healing Vibrations. Travis Schumacher and his cat Perseus. And what we do here is we take in some oxygen like we do before we perform on stage. We always take 3 deep breaths in through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. Ginny is a freaking comedy machine. Yes, she is. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. Let it go. One more time. In through the nose, out through the toes. Hold it. And let it go. People are starting to come in the chat room here. Marco the comic. Don't wake up the cat. I know, I'm making too much noise. It's amazing because Travis will do this sound bowl thing for like 3 hours. I don't know how he does it. My arms will fall off. Does it for like 3 hours straight, and the cat loves it. So check him out. Healing Vibrations anytime. You can do that anytime. But now we're getting towards the interview, but I want to show you something that I love. It's a type of instrument called a hammered dulcimer. We're just going to listen to a little bit of a cover song of a Simon and Garfunkel tune to get us in the mood for the interview. Yeah, triangles. Marco, welcome. Marco the comic. Richard the crooner. This is Tim Semick, one of the great hammer dulcimer players living today. It is beautiful. Okay, now we got some trivia here. I like that, Marco. Love it. Okay, I got a question for you, Marco. What is a chanticle? Chanticle. I don't know why they call it chanticle. Maybe it was originally played on one of these things. I don't know. I don't know how old the hammered dulcimer is. Probably ancient. A canticle. Yes, not a chanticle. A canticle. Did Simon and Garfunkel write the words? Who knows? Aha! Go. A canticle is a type of song or hymn used in a Christian liturgy. Very good. All right. Now we're getting on to the interview here. Finally, we can get to the meat of the program. I got Stephen J. Springer. He currently hosts something called the Early Bird Special Comedy Showcase there at the Laugh Factory in Chicago, Illinois. He has been doing comedy for many, 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 many years. He started out as a corrections officer. Well, maybe he started out as a baby. And I don't think he was a corrections officer then. But at some point, he was a corrections officer, just like Mike Knox, who was also on the show. I wonder, they could probably really tell some stories to each other and to us. We're going to have to ask him about that. He also got his first break from one of the most significant figures in American comedy. I don't know who that is, and we're going to have to find out about that. He's also producing other shows, which we will talk about as well. When he was a little kid, he was a, what do you call that? He was like the kid in Almost Famous. He would chase around rock stars. He was like a groupie. He's got all kinds of stories about that. And he is just a wonderful comedian. You're going to love him. Richard says, I wanted to buy this instrument, but there were strings attached. Yes. So there's a chat room. It's live. Feel free to make jokes, funny ones like this one, unfunny ones like many of the jokes that are made on this show. Marco liked it. I like that. Marco, are you from Chicago? Are you from Los Angeles? Where are you? Let us know. Let's get into this interview. We're floating above Chicago. Steve is an all-around nice guy. Yeah, it makes you wonder, like, how could he be a corrections officer or a bouncer? He was a bouncer as well. Maybe nice guys are good at that kind of stuff. Who knows? Break the mold. Let's fly in on our zip line to Interview Friday.
Welcome to CG's tonight. Thanks for coming out. My name is Stephen Springer, and a little bit about me. I'm not trying to brag, but you're looking at the recent winner of the Idaho Mr. Potato Lookalike Contest. I've also been told I resemble Homer Simpson and Shrek. Looking like all these cartoon characters, you'd be surprised to find out that my dad was actually a plastic surgeon. You obviously wasn't a good one. They like to use me for some before pictures. The specialty were breasts. Mine are real. Hey, eyes up here, buddy.
Stephen J. Springer, welcome to Lunch Therapy.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for having me.
It's great to see you. It's your dad was really a plastic surgeon?
Yep. He's retired and deceased now, but yeah, he was one.
Wow. Now, where was this?
In Chicago, in several hospitals in the area.
Wow. And you grew up in Chicago, but then you went to Indianapolis at some point? Is that right?
For a couple of years, that's actually where I started doing comedy. My first time was there.
So it was in Chicago where you were the groupie, the music groupie. Can you tell us little stories about that? Because what would you do? You hang out in front of hotels looking for Led Zeppelin or something?
Yeah, well, this is back in the late 70s, early 80s, and now they call that stalking, but basically I was a pest. I'd hang out at the hotels, and it wouldn't be enough that I'd wait for them and get their autograph. I'd have to hang out for a couple of days while they were here, while they're coming in and out, and just follow them around and just being a pest.
Were there other people? Was that like a thing? Like other people in the 70s following these people around all the time? Did you know them?
It's mostly just me, and sometimes they'd recognize me, like Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Yeah.
He saw me a year and a half after I first met him. He's like, "Oh, you again."
I heard you rode in a limo with him. Is that right?
Yep. Yeah, he saw that I didn't have a ticket, and then when he came out to go to the concert, he says, "Get in the limo." And so I got in front with his road manager.
You must have been like an outgoing kid. Were you like a class clown, outgoing kind of person?
No, actually, just the opposite. I mean, I had a lot of chutzpah to go meet these guys,
Yeah.
but I was very shy.
What do you think it is about people like shy kids that do like overt things that like other people would not do? I mean, are they like saving all your, I don't know, all of your energy for just like a short bursts of public displays of affection for rock stars?
That's probably it. I mean, like I said, I can't believe I had the nerve to do all that, and I can't believe I got away with it. Nowadays, you can't hang around a hotel, a young kid with long hair, and
No.
I bet nowadays Steven Tyler wouldn't take a teenager in his limo with him.
Were you no, definitely not. Were you a musician at the time? Like, were you learning how to play the guitar? Or what drew you to these people?
Oh, here's a funny story. When I hit 13, I had my bar mitzvah.
Yeah.
And I used all my money to buy a Gibson Les Paul, which is
Nice.
the best guitar you can have.
Yeah.
I thought it would make me a good guitar player, and I never got good at it. I thought you just can't buy an instrument and be good. You have to practice and have talent.
Yeah. It's just
And
one
I did,
guitar
and,
slung way down low. It's a one-way ticket. Only one way to go. You were probably listening to Jukebox Hero back then.
Yep.
Who else did you see back in the day?
Journey, the Stones.
The Stones?
Frank Sinatra was. Yeah, I met the Stones. Actually, I was hanging out late at night one night there at the hotel, and he came out. I was the only one there, and he came out with his bodyguard. Bodyguard wasn't going to let me near him, and Mick was like, "This guy's been here for hours. Let me sign his autograph and take his picture."
Oh my gosh.
So he stuck up for me.
He's gonna sign your autograph and take his picture.
Well, sign my album, I mean.
So do you have memorabilia still from there?
Yeah, I have a lot of pictures. Actually, I should have brought them up and put them on here, but I didn't think about it.
Oh, that's cool. Are you going to keep them for the rest of your life, or are you going to try and sell them?
The albums I already sold, but the pictures, I mean, there's nobody's going to buy them really. I mean, you can get a picture of Mick Jagger easily.
Yeah. So there's just
Or
photographs.
for my own nostalgia.
Yeah. And as you get older, people don't even know who these people are. That's one of the things you learn, when you hang on to, like, I've got a Jim Morrison poetry book, first edition. But it's like, I wonder if it just loses value if it like peaks at some point and starts losing value because people don't even know who Jim Morrison is anymore.
Well, the young people don't, but that's a good way to teach them who he is. But
there's
always going to be older people that are going to know who he is.
Yeah, totally. So what's the leap from long-haired guy following around rock stars to corrections officer? How did that happen? Yeah.
Go ahead.
Did you go to college? What did you do like after that?
I went to college for the major in criminal justice, and I always wanted to become a cop, and that was the first place that hired me. And
where'd you go to college?
UIC in Roosevelt. I graduated from Roosevelt, actually, university.
And you just decided I want to be a cop. After avoiding the cops to get to the rock stars, you're like, I think I want to be that.
I was like a square peg in a circle. I mean, I didn't belong there, and I can't believe I lasted for 14 and a half years. And
yeah, you don't seem like the corrections officer. You might have the look for it, but you're such a nice person, gentle person. And I don't know, maybe corrections officers are. I don't know. Mike Knox tells a kind of a who we also had on the show, and as a comedian and actor, he told some really awful stories about what it's like. What is it like?
It's horrible. It's horrible there. I got along better with the other guards than I did with the inmates. I mean, I got along better with the inmates than I did the other guards.
That's what we knew. That's what you were talking about. Yeah, I hear it's a very difficult situation because there's no love going on, and people don't.
No, nothing but hate.
What Mike said is that they don't really they give each other a hard time. The guards give each other a hard time.
Oh, I got more stress from them. I mean, there've been so many fights between guards and inmates. They're all like, yes, sir, no, sir. And they're very institutionalized. They know they have to be nice to us to get what they want.
Yeah.
That extra donut or that extra honey bun.
I heard that you broke up a fight between a guy and himself.
Yep. That's a true story too. Yeah. I heard a argument in the washroom of a living unit.
Yeah.
I go in there. It was this one guy, two different voices.
No way. And you heard him around the corner, arguing with himself. And you're like, these guys are going to get in a fight. And you walk in there. And
I thought it was two different people.
Do you do comedy about being a corrections officer?
Yeah, I've got about 12, 13 minutes of it. Yes.
Really?
That's my first bit of routine. My first routine was about, being a correctional officer.
Wow. That's wild. So I hear it's also hard to leave because the pay is really good. Is that true?
Yeah, it paid good, but there's a high death rate among officers, and it wasn't from violence, it's from strokes and heart attacks, and that would have been me if I stayed there longer.
It almost is like you're incarcerated too.
Yep, well, you are for 8 hours.
Wow, that's wild. That's wild. So how did you get out of it? What did you do after that? And were you doing stand-up comedy any time during this correctional facility time?
Not really. I was making the inmates laugh, but I didn't really have a comedy routine. But that's where I got all my original material, and then I just left because I had enough. And and then after that, I bounced around a lot of different things, and mostly security. I stayed in the security industry, but then I got out. I realized after all these years, I realized I didn't belong in that line of work.
Yeah. Matt Wright says,
I didn't have the personality or the temperament.
It doesn't seem like it. Matt says, I think we all need a little help breaking up the fights we have with ourselves. I do. I definitely do. I'm always arguing with myself. So what made you go to Indianapolis?
I went to live with my sister. I got divorced and I fell on hard times and I wanted to stay there. And while I was there, I got the comedy bug. And then
Seems like a weird place to get the comedy bug. Indianapolis.
Well, actually, I had it in Chicago before I left, but I mean, that's where I had the nerve, the gall to get up on stage.
Yeah. Is there a comedy community there in Indianapolis? Well, lately, it seems like there's comedy communities cropping up everywhere, and some of them have been there for a long time. We just didn't know about them because we didn't have the internet. What was it like in Indianapolis at the time?
Oh, there was a comedy community. They were very supportive, and there wasn't as many opportunities there as there in Chicago. There's just one. Back then, there was just two major clubs, and now I think there's just one.
And do you generally play major clubs? Do you do open mics? How do you?
All of it. Wherever I can get on stage, I'll do it.
Yeah. I'm going to play another clip.
Never been about the money.
Yeah. I'm going to play another clip.
I'm lucky I found my wife because I was horrible at dating, very bad. And I did all my dating on the internet. You know the hard part about internet dating? Cut my prom date out of the picture. I had a hell of a time getting second dates, and I think I finally figured out why. First dates.
crazy a little bit. How did you, when you first started doing comedy, did you have a mentor or somebody there in Indianapolis that you looked up to, or did you just discover
No,
it
I
yourself?
had different coaches back then. Way back then, it was actually, you might know her, Jody Miller out of L.A.
Oh,
You
I
know
don't
her?
know Jody Miller. I'm gonna have to find out about her.
But that was brief, and then since then, I've had a lot of mentors here, and I still do. Even though I've been doing it a while, I
Yeah.
still learn from the old vets out here.
How did you originally learn on your own? Was it just trial and error, or did you read books about it, or did you study with somebody?
Everything. I studied with people. I read books, took classes. I did everything I could, and I still do.
Yeah,
I'm never going to quit taking classes.
you do. You still take classes, yeah. And who are some of the people you take from?
Mr. Big Stuff, Harry Hickstein, Bill Gorgo, comedian out of Milwaukee named Lee Lycan. I've studied with them all.
Wow. So after Indianapolis, you took off to Chicago. You worked as a doorman. Is that right?
Yeah, actually, I still do. That's what I do now.
Yeah. That seems like a good place to go after doing all these like bouncer jobs, correctional facilities, because you're also the host. People come in the door.
Right, and I work on a midnight shift where I've got all night with a life-size mirror to rehearse and practice. And
That's how you practice, really, at night while you're doing your job. Nice.
yeah, because I don't see anybody all night.
Yeah.
And I even get some TV exposure because I'm on late night TV there, closed circuit TV, but still a credit.
Always recording. Yeah, it's great. You got all your tapes. Do you go to then where do you work on your material? Do you do it at the Laugh Factory, or do you work on the material at open mics around Chicago?
Everything. I mean, I have the show at the Laugh Factory. I've done Zanies. I've done Comedy Plus. I've done all the clubs here, and I do open mics when there's no shows.
You do. And what is the comedy world like there in Chicago now?
It's awesome. It's very big and tight, and there's just so many opportunities. You could do 3 mics in one night here.
Yeah, I noticed that. I was in town for about 5 days earlier last year, and managed to get up like 3 times, and I was really busy at the time too. So it was like, it's really nice people. What are some of the places that you like to go to for those in Chicago or those thinking about doing it?
I like going to the clubs. I like going to all over. I mean, like a little Laugh Factory, of course.
Yeah.
I don't just go there for my show, but I go there, for their mic and other showcases. And, I go all over. Comedyplex. Where else is there? Did I say Zanies?
No, yeah, I don't know if you said Zanies, but we got a clip from Zanies. Did you, what about Lincoln Lodge? You ever go there?
Yeah, that's the oldest, longest running independent clubs there is. I go there, yeah.
That one seems
That's
really
a good place.
What about improv? You ever do improv?
Done improv. I took classes at the Annoyance.
Oh, you did. What is the Annoyance Theater like at this point?
It's awesome. I mean, it's more improv than stand-up. They don't do very much stand-up, but I think improv is very important to be a host and do crowd work.
Yeah.
So I've taken improv there.
The community there in Chicago, the arts community, is very strong. Like improv,
Yep.
acting, stand-up comedy. Do you venture out from Chicago as well?
Every time I go on vacation, I do comedy somewhere. I have a good network all over the country.
Oh, you do. So
I've been everywhere.
You've been everywhere? Like where? Like have you been to Vegas?
Yeah, actually, I was in Vegas a few months ago, and I'm going to Upper Peninsula, Michigan, in a couple months. I've been to Austin. I've been to New York. I've been everywhere.
And what do you find the differences in the audiences when you go to these different places? Are they different? Are they the same?
Pretty much the same. I mean, if you're funny, they'll laugh. Pretty simple.
Yeah, it's a good formula, I think. Tell me about the show that you do at the Laugh Factory and how that came about and, all that.
Well, it's a show for comedians 55 and over because the general manager, Curtis Shaw, liked the idea because all the shows are young people in their 20s and 30s, and there's an opportunity for older people to get stage time.
Is it difficult to get stage time when you're older?
Paid stage time, yeah. Most of the clubs want young people.
Yeah. And what's the audience like? Is it usually older people too? You do it
Yeah,
early,
some. I
right?
mean, it's mixed. It's what?
You do it early for the people to get in bed early,
Yep.
right? Is that why I
A
see
lot of older
everybody's
people,
special?
a lot of younger people. I get all ages there.
How often do you do it? Is it once a month or once a week?
Third Sunday of every month.
Third Sunday of every month. That's cool. And so, what is the Laugh Factory like in Chicago? Is there a lot of opportunity for up and coming comedians to work there? How do you get in there if you're going to be a regular, that kind of thing?
Yeah, there's a lot of showcase. It's a showcase club, and so there's a lot more opportunities than just the three-man. It's a club that's got a host, a feature, and a headliner. There's more opportunities there, and they've got an open mic and a showcase, and you just have to go there and work your way up.
Can you explain to us what you mean by showcase?
Well, showcase is when you have like 7 or 8 comedians doing shorter sets,
Yeah.
as opposed to a regular traditional show that's like I said, a host, a feature, and a headliner.
Is it always showcases there at the Laugh Factory, or do they have the host and the headliner and the
Once in a while, they'll have
featured?
a big national act, and I can't remember anybody offhand, but they'll have somebody from LA, and he might do a longer set, but it's usually, like I said, a showcase.
Here's a question
Everybody gets equal billing.
from the audience. How many comics do you feature in your show?
Me and 6 others.
And who are some of the people that you've had on there that you really enjoy?
Mr. Big Stuff Harry Hickstein. I've had Bill Gorgo. People that I mentioned that were mentors are all that same age.
I've got a Bill Gorgo clip here that's pretty fun. I'm going to play that now.
Typical Thanksgiving conversation. Hey, you know who I saw the other day? That guy. You know, he used to live across the street. When we had that house over by that park, around the corner there was that theater. Oh, we saw that movie with that actor. He was married to that tennis player. They had that dog. Do what I do. Just look him right in the eye and go, how's he doing? Just bump him back on the track.
I like that bit. How did you meet him?
He was a teacher at Zanies.
And
He was one of the Zanies Comedy Club. He's one of the teachers there, and I said I want to work with you privately.
Is Zanies like you say a showcase club, or is it a road?
No, it's
club?
a regular club, and it's an old converted strip club, and it's been there for about 45 years.
And is that right in Chicago, or is that outside of Chicago?
No, it's right in Chicago, Old Town. It's not far from downtown.
Cool. I've definitely heard of it. I just have never been there. At these different clubs, like the Laugh Factory and Zanies, do you have to earn your spot there, or how do you get spots there?
You start out usually at the open mic, you show them what you could do, and then they'll put you on a showcase, and then they'll put you on a regular show.
How often do they
it's
have
a
open
process.
mics?
Once a week on Tuesday.
Both clubs? Tuesdays?
Well, no, that's for Laugh Factory. It's Tuesday. For Zanies, they they don't really have an open mic. They have a showcase for newer comics, and you get in there by sending a video to the manager there.
Oh, okay. And when you do get to do the open mic, how many minutes do you get?
At Laugh Factory, 3, but I know it doesn't sound like much, but it's a chance to show what you got, and
Yeah.
then when you get the showcase, you get more time. You can get up to 10 minutes.
That's how it is in Los Angeles too. I think they run it probably the same way.
Oh yeah, well, there's a Laugh Factory out there too. Yeah.
Yeah. Equal Means Equal says, now that's an interesting idea. Strip comedy, all comics also strip. They actually have that, right? Have you seen that?
No, what's that?
They have stand-up comedy where the comics strip, or the comics are like nude or semi-nude. You have to ask Sally Mullins about that. I think she did one of those.
It's funny you mentioned that because this other show that I'm just starting to promote at the end of the month,
Yeah.
it has a stripper pole on stage, so I have to joke about that.
Oh, is that the one we were talking about before the show? Let's see if I can find it. Oh no. went away.
Sluggers.
Yeah, yeah. But let me see if my assistant Boney can call it up. Boney, can you get that page up again? Yeah, let's see. So you've got a new show that you're producing.
Yep, it's Sluggers Sports Bar in Wrigleyville, across from Wrigley Field.
Oh, wow. Now, do you do this? Do you coincide the shows with the baseball game so you can get the crowd coming out of there?
Well, the dates that I get is up to the manager there.
Yeah.
And it's revolves around the game. So I think that first day there's a game during the day, and hopefully a lot of those people come to the show and buy tickets, and then I'll have a packed house.
Is it good to get people out from the game in the house, or are they all drunk?
Why not? Yeah. I hope they don't get too drunk, but then, like they say, the drunker a person gets, the funnier the comedian is.
But sometimes the drunker a person gets, the funnier they think they are in the audience.
Yeah. Well, we have security there, but hopefully we'll get a lot of. The main thing is fill the seats. There's 90 seats in the place.
Yeah.
And if the ball game if it brings people in and they pay $15, that's a good thing.
Do you ever have to deal with hecklers?
Not very often. I mean, I'm not bragging, but if you're funny, usually they won't heckle unless you're not funny, but sometimes they get drunk and heckle, and I've had that a few times.
Yeah.
Luckily, security shuts them down.
Yeah. When did you start producing comedy, and do you produce on your own, or do you do it with someone else usually?
I produce on my own. Laugh Factory, I guess you could say I pestered the general manager there, Curtis Shaw, let me have an old-timer show, and he loved the idea. It just took a while to get it going because there's a lot of other shows there, and they had to wait for another show to cancel or stop being produced. And now I've been doing it 3.5 years.
Wow. And do you ever host with somebody else?
Well, you're not going to believe this, but at the beginning, I used to host with my wife.
That's what I thought. Tell us about it.
I'll be honest, I was kind of nervous I'm not afraid to get up on stage and do my material, but in the beginning, the crowd work thing intimidated me, and she does seminars at her day job she puts on seminars, so she's used to talking to people, and it was kind of like a kid bringing his mommy to work. To school with him.
I hear she's really good at crowd work, right?
Oh, awesome! But after a while, I got it's time to do it on my own.
Yeah. And so now as a host, so tell us what the difference is between being a host and somebody, and a featured comedian.
Well, the host, starts the show and has to get the crowd going and, let the crowd and the audience know to be become one. And just tell them the rules and just get them warmed up.
Tell them the rules. Do you tell them the rules of the club?
Well, like cell phones on quiet, don't talk to the comedians, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Is that a great way for comedians? I feel like that's a great way for comedians to get a lot of stage time, is to be a host.
Yep. It's a great time. And, people, the people aren't really coming to see you, but then, you get, like I said, you get a lot of stage time and, you meet a lot of good people, and it's a wonderful thing.
And what have you learned from being a host? And do you do hosting gigs on other places as well? Besides,
right now,
looks like the ones that you're producing, you're usually the host, right?
Yeah. Laugh Factory Sluggers, and then I got that one on May 3rd. I don't know if you saw the flyer on my Facebook page, but I've done quite a lot of hosting. Yeah.
Yeah. And what is this picture that I saw of you with Seth Rogen?
Oh yeah, I just met him last Saturday at a family wedding.
There you guys are.
Awesome guy.
You just happened to be at a family wedding. Have you seen his new show, The Studio?
Not yet, but now that I met him, I'm looking up at all his old stuff, his movies and TV shows. But I guess you could say he and I are sort of related now.
Yeah, I guess so. Are you the new show, The Studio? I highly recommend. The second episode is really interesting because it appears to have been shot in one take. The entire.
It's a weekly show, or
I don't know. Who knows how things go these days? But it's on Apple Plus. I think it comes out weekly.
Okay.
Yeah, it probably comes out weekly, but yeah. What do you think about Mars? Are you going to move to Mars?
Nah.
Do you think we should be going to Mars?
Why not? I mean, I think it's a long ride.
It is a long ride. I don't know. What about acting? Do you ever do any acting?
It's funny you mentioned that because I've been taking acting lessons here.
Yeah.
My initial reason was I figured it'd make me a better comedian because you know what act outs are, don't you?
Oh yeah.
So it made me better at that, and it made me a better comedian. But then I got an agent who said I had a look and that I could act, and so I've gotten quite a few auditions. But I need to get better as an actor so I can get to pass some.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
So
you got
yeah,
a
I'm taking
great.
acting lessons.
You have a great look.
Thanks,
for
thank you. I've been told that I look different. I don't know if that's a good thing, but
You kind of look like J.K. Simmons, but your own version of him. Seth Rogen was a celebrity host of the Great Canadian Pottery Throwdown. He's a potter. Makes a lot of bongs. Yeah, I bet he does. Well, this has been delightful having you on the show. At the end of the show, what we do is we have what's called a dance break. And what we do is I play a cover of somebody on the internet, and we just kind of enjoy it. You don't have to dance. Sometimes people get up and dance, but I don't think this is a real dancey one, but it's a great performer. I don't know if you've ever heard of this girl. Her name is Ali Sherlock, and she's a busker. You know what a busker is?
Busker. I think you stand on the street and with a tip jar.
And she plays cover songs. Beautiful voice. Beautiful voice. So I want to also make sure that everybody knows what shows you have coming up. You don't have like a website, right? You mainly go through social media?
Well, I have a website, but it hasn't been updated. People can go there. I just have to do some, update it a little.
So here's the show that's happening on April 24th, the one that we were talking about. Who are these two folks? And this is your traditional show with the host, the feature, the headliner.
Yeah, it's Sluggers. Yeah, that's the first time I think I've hosted one of those. I mean, I've hosted showcases, but not a three-man show. I've got Jason Cross on there and Jose Montero. They're both good local acts.
Yeah, cool. And is this a traditional comedy place? Do they usually do comedy there?
No, it's actually a sports bar. They've never done comedy before, so I'm bringing it there, and
wow, that should be
I'm real
really
excited about it.
So yeah, check that out, April 24th, 7 p.m. And then also, this is your show at the Laugh Factory, the Early Bird Special. It used to be called Geezers of Comedy.
No, actually, the official name from Laugh Factory is Early Bird Special.
Yeah.
I put Geezers on there because I wasn't sure people would get the Early Bird Special reference.
Yeah.
I want to make sure people knew that it was an old people show.
An old people show. What do your comedians say to that? Are they like, what? I'm not a geezer.
Some of the women don't like that, but I haven't got too many complaints.
Yeah. It's funny. It's always funny. Well, that's great. So that's at the Laugh Factory in Chicago. Promo code Early Bird Special. What does that get you?
It gets you complimentary tickets.
Oh, really? Well, there's no
still a
reason not to
2-item minimum, but you can get in there for free with us. You go to their website and you put in that promo code.
All right, well, check that out, everybody. That starts early at 7. Your other show starts at 7 too. It's sort of an early bird special as well.
Right, sort of like a regular time. Yeah, it's a regular time for shows to start, and it's funny. The Slugger show is kind of the opposite. The owner wants comedians 30 to 50. So
really,
kind of the opposite.
Ageist. Well, maybe you're an ageist too, because you just like the older people. In your other show.
I like all comics if they're funny.
Yeah, that's right. All right, and that's the way you connect with an audience. Be funny.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, so let's get on to our wonderful dance break here. Here we go, dance break. Thanks so much for being on the show. Really appreciate it,
Thank you for having me.
Stephen. All right, here we go. This is going to be Alexi Sherlock. This girl is amazing.
spend my nights out on the bar room. Liquor was the only love I've known. But you rescued me from reaching bottom. Brought me back and beyond too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. I stay sewn on your love all the time.
All right, thanks so much, Stephen, for being on the show. Look at these people. They're like, what the
Thank
hell?
you for having me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Come back anytime.
Bye.